Hey guys, welcome back to the Lived It podcast. I'm your host, Liv, and I am so excited to have you guys here yet another Monday. Now, we have grown to love Mondays, right? Well, I have. But Lived It podcast is going on a seasonal break. Now, I had originally planned to have the this Lived It podcast season one slightly shorter. I wanted to keep it at 10 episodes, but like I told you guys, I'm pretty new to this, so I've been winging it. I've read a ton of videos of how you're supposed to do it, but whatever, it's my podcast, so I'm just gonna do it however I feel fit. But so I'm going on a seasonal break. So I'm gonna be gone for a few weeks. I just want to kind of get everything. I just want to put my ideas together in this time frame, and of course, the Lived It podcast IG page, Instagram for the old people, because I got a couple 50 and older crew. You don't be knowing what these abbreviations mean, but I have my Lived It podcast Instagram page for those of you who want to keep in touch in the meantime, and I'm still gonna be here and there on my social platforms, but yeah, I'm going on a break, y'all. Your girl needs a break because this podcasting thing is a lot harder than I had thought. But for those of you who are new to the podcast, or this is your first time listening, this is a relationship based podcast, which just means we talk about everything relationship. Now that can go from anything with your relationship with your spouse, your relationship with your kids, your relationship with God, your relationship with your money, whatever it is. We're talking about it on the Lived It podcast, okay? So if you have not yet subscribed, go ahead and subscribe so that you can stay up to date with everything that we're going to be dropping, whether it's on YouTube, what's the other thing I'm on? YouTube, Spotify, Podbean, or Apple Podcast. Make sure you subscribe to something, or if you want to be an overachiever, go for the goal. Subscribe to all. And I'm subscribed to everything. Like my Levincia page is subscribed to everything. But today, y'all, I gotta touch bases on this because this thing has been so crazy. I don't know who could guess it before I start talking about it. This has been so crazy. Everything that's been going on with entanglement. You was in an entanglement? Okay. For those of y'all who be so out of the loop, let me sip my tea, y'all, because this week was a lot for me. Just listening to all these interviews and stuff with all this going on, I was like, oh Lord, not my auntie and my uncle. Sips tea. Whew. That Merlot is no joke, guys. But so today I need to touch bases on this Will and Jada thing, because if you guys had listened to one of my previous episodes, I can't quite remember the name of that episode right now. But if you've listened to any of my previous episodes, which I'm sure you all have, because why would you be listening to one of my last episodes and you haven't listened to any of my first episodes, right? But if you guys have been following up on the Will and Jada story, because as I mentioned in my other episode, Will and Jada is like my auntie and my uncle in my head, and I'm trying to find the name of the episode. Y'all bear with me, y'all. I think it was Dear Teenage Self. In Dear Teenage Self, I played a clip of Will and Jada where he basically said, was saying you have to go out and find your own happiness, and he let Jada be free and told her make her own damn self happy because he was tired of it. Prove to him that she could actually be happy. And I really took this is so funny because I really took this when he said that, it was literally a minute and something clip, but when he said that, I literally was oh my, I had an epiphany, Live, go make yourself happy. And that's exactly what I did. I set out and I made myself happy. And it's just so funny that here it is all coming back up. If you guys don't know, okay, let me break it all down. I got to break it all down. So y'all know Will and Jada Smith. They've been married 25 years. They have their kids, I think it's two kids together. And August Alsina, he's coming out with a new record, and he spoke with Angela Yee last week, and he basically was, promoting his album and all that stuff, but it kind of went into details where he talked about the relationship that he had shared with Jada. Now, August is a little baby compared to Jada, so this was a little off, you know? But I was like, I don't judge people. Like, I don't judge people. So anyway, this was a rumor back in like a few years back, but like it was no one ever confirmed it. So it was like when he confirmed it, it was like, oh snap, like this really happened. So yeah, so this is me. I guess Will and Jada allegedly, I'll be like Wendy Williams now, allegedly took a break, and she ended up in that time. According to August, Will gave him his blessing. According to Will, he did not, because Will and Jada had a talk on the Red Table Talk. For those of you who don't know, Jada has her own talk show. Would it be considered a talk show if it's on Facebook Live, on Facebook? Well, she has her own little show at the Red Table Talk. So usually she brings like other people, and she kind of discusses like all this feelings and all that good stuff. But she brought herself to the Red Table Talk. So she pretty much wanted to address like the things that August was saying about them two being in a relationship. So she did address it as an entanglement. Now, Will was a little confused I wouldn't say confused, but he was like, it wasn't no entanglement, call it what it was. Now, I had to go and research what an entanglement was, because I didn't know that entanglement could be used in that type of sentence when talking about having August wouldn't be considered a mister. He would be considered a mistress, right? So whatever y'all want to call him, side dude, whatever we're going to call him, the side dude for now. But an entanglement, the act of entangling. Okay, that didn't break it down enough to me. So I went to the second definition, the state of being entangled. Okay, we're getting somewhere. Let's go to the third definition. Something that entangles, snare, involvement, complication. Oh, Jada, I get it. You was in an entanglement. I understand. Now, usually I'm not the ones to speak on people's business because my plates be full and I like to sweep off my porch before I sweep off somebody else's porch. But fortunately for you guys and myself, she addressed it first. So it's touchable at this point. So how do I feel about this? Like based on like all my Facebook friends, they was raving. They was like, Jada is that B. You know how women be egging on other women. And I could understand why. I could understand why. Now, dang, I love Will. Like I was like, Jada, why you did Will like that? But at the same time, like I was like, Jada, you my dog. You've been my dog from set it off. No, but it was just funny because it's so often like we kind of see the roles reversed, and it's like, it's usually the men that's stepping out. And I don't even, in all honesty, I don't even put it past, Will. I don't even put it past him to say that, he's never stepped out or whatever the case may be. But, the spotlight is on her now. And I don't feel like, at the same time, she's going to, shine it on him because this is her situation. But everybody's raving, talking about, what they would have done and blah, 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 blah. Men do it all the time. Let's just start there. Do I feel like a union should be broken? No. According to Jada, like Will had already kicked her to the curb. They were separated, done. It is what it is. So why not? Now, do I agree with Jada's entanglement? I mean, I've been in an entanglement myself, and stuff happens. So it was just, but it was entertaining. This week was very entertaining, and it was good to see the shoes on the other foot, because I feel like so often, like, it's always the man that when it all comes to light, the man did this, the man did that, the woman's crying, distraught, so heartbroken. So cliche. Hey, cliche. But it was just like, it was very enlightening to see it on the other foot. And also, if you watch the interview at the Red Table Talk, it was actually a pretty funny interview. Like, you could me personally, like, I kind of read between the lines, but you could kind of see that it was like, yeah. But like they said, this happened 4 years ago, and it was something that was already addressed. So for you guys, for us, it's something new, but for them, it was like, yeah, it's old news. Let's just address this and go back. Now, a lot of people felt like Will was like, you could see that he was mad and he was annoyed, da da da. I don't really think that was the case. I feel like Jada kind of attempted to downplay it when she was like, entanglement. My girl, you was having an affair, okay? You was committing adultery. If you want to get biblical. But I think he got a little bit annoyed when it came to like the wording that she just decided to use. But it was actually funny and entertaining to me, because everybody, just not everybody, but society basically feels like men are gonna do these things first, like the man always cheats and all this stuff. But here it is, the light shines, and it was the woman, and dating someone half her age. Oh my, Jada, you was rocking the cradle. But it was just funny. It was really funny. And I like that they were open to address it in the public's eye and actually kind of laugh about it. Now, this is where things get a little bit skeptical for me, because every time someone kind of like comes into the public eye and on cameras and does something, I automatically think the opposite. And for me, they're both actors. So I almost felt like they kind of went on and acted like, I mean, they're actors. They're Hollywood actors. This is what they do. So I don't necessarily felt like the conversation was as smooth as it was portrayed to be, but I honestly don't feel like Will cares. I mean, not cares, but he was so devastated, because like he says, it happened years ago. But let's touch bases on August, because my whole thing with August is, dang, August, if you was smashing, you couldn't just keep that to yourself. Like, I mean, from what I've heard, between Will Smith, Tupac, and August Alsina, Jada is that woman. Like, Jada got something in the sauce. She got the magic touch, from how highly they all speak of her. But it was like, dang, August, like, you couldn't just kind of like, you done seen them moved on and they all happy in their relationship, and you didn't expose the woman. Like, I don't like that. That's just me personally. But yo, that was crazy. I was not expecting that, but in the midst of all this COVID and quarantining, like, I'm here for it. Like, I'll take any little bit of entertainment at this point. But I kind of wanted to share like my experiences with entanglements. I want to share my experience with entanglement. So, according to Jada, like, her and Will had separated, and she just wanted to feel good. Like, she wanted to feel good, and August was there, and she started off, he was very sick. He was dealing with some things with his health, and it kind of stemmed off, as she says, into an affair. Now, I have definitely been in that place where, like, I just wanted to feel good. Like, things ain't working out in your personal life, or things ain't working out in your marital life, and you just want to feel good. Like, I can totally relate. Jada, I feels you. Now, does it work like long term? I think like I would call it an in the moment fix. Like, you do what you got to do because you want to feel good, right? But after a while, it kind of gets messy and sticky, and in a nutshell, somebody's gonna get hurt. So even though you wanna feel good, it's gonna turn around and you're gonna get to a place where you're not feeling so good anymore and you're the one that's doing the hurting, and that's what's really gonna mess you up. And I kind of feel like that's where Jada was in her relationship, because I'm just basing it off my own experiences. Like I said, like I've been in places I've been in a stage in my life where like my relationship just wasn't going good and I just wanted to feel good. And as Jada calls it, I got myself in an entanglement. And when I say entanglement, I was tangled, like tangled. I was trying to get out, and I was just like so tangled. I just, I couldn't get myself out of it. But the thing what I had to learn was no one could give me a permanent fix to make me feel good permanently. Does that make sense? No one can make me feel good permanently. That all falls on myself. And that was one of the things that I learned when I kind of like, took a break from everything and everyone and just kind of went on this soul searching mission to find myself. It was like, I got into this entanglement and, I was with someone that I wanted to be with to make me feel good. And it was like, he made me feel good at first. And then afterwards, it was just like chaotic. It was hell. Like, at first it was like, yay, you take my mind off of things. You make me feel beautiful. You make me feel sexy. You treat me so good. And then it turned around and just was like, Lord, it's me again. Like, yes, Levincia, I'm tired of thy. I'm tired of thee. But I'm like, Lord, it's me again. Get me out of this. Please, Jesus, get me out of this. Like Control said in her first episode, like in my very first episode, like, get me out of this. I don't know where to go. I don't know where to turn to. And that's pretty much where I was in my entanglement. But it was like, listen, I advise everybody to close one door before you open another, because it's just, like, I always tell people, I don't even have the patience anymore. Like when it comes to cheating and taking breaks and all this stuff, like it just makes the situation worse. And whatever you was dealing with before, like it's going to be 10 times worse when you get back there, because you're gonna have to go back there. So why even bother? Now for all my hot girls out there, because I don't want to get attacked, because I understand. I feels you guys. It's fun, right? It's fun to do men how they do you. It's fun not to care. It's fun to, just do your own thing and not have to answer to anybody. But at the same time, it's just like, I don't know if I'm getting old or whatever the case may be, because, it all seemed fun like in my early 20s, like 22, 23, 24. But like as I'm starting to push towards 30, it's like I don't even got the patience. I don't want to. Like, if I got to sneak to do it, I don't want to do it. It's too much work. It's like, it's too much. If I got to like hide your name as a female's name, I don't want to do it. If I got to save your name as the alarm company, so when you're calling me at 2:00 in the morning, I can say, yo, this alarm is tripping. I don't want to do it. Like, if I got to meet up with you and then delete everything afterwards, and I don't want to do it. It's just too much. Like, been there, done that, got a bumper sticker and a certificate, if I might add myself. But at this point in my life, like, I just don't want to do it. Like, I was watching one of my friends was posting, and she was just kind of posting like all, the grimy things she's done to like an ex-boyfriend or whatever. And like, I just started to laugh because it's so funny, because at first our generation was kind of like, we were the women that would be cheated on and we still stand by us. Like, like not our generation, the old generation, like my grandmama them. Not my grandmama, because she, child. But like the older women, they were just so submissive, and they kind of just a lot of them would just be they would be cheated on and they would just stay there because at the end of the day, like, what could they do? They cooked, they cleaned, they took care of the kids, and that's pretty much all it was. But, as we get older and women are like really holding down the house, like, us women is killing it, okay? Like, I don't want y'all to sleep on women. Like, before I shut this podcast down, I'm gonna have to shout out us women, because like, we really then like we've really evolved into like something different, and I love it. Like, I love it. Like, I could respect the submissive woman who kind of just lets the man wear the pants in the relationship and do everything that, take care of the family while like she stays home and cooks and cleans and has the kids and baby popping machine and all that stuff. But like, I can really respect the women who like really go out there and hold it down. Like, I've always been that type of woman. Like, I've always known that at the end of the day, like, if you decided you wanted to leave, I'll be good. If you decided you wanted to step out, you was gonna stay out. If you decided that you wanted to act froggy and jump, I jump back. Okay? But like, I could just respect that woman. I already know, like, it's because I'm a millennial, and y'all see I didn't got that word. It took me a couple of weeks, but your girl got it. But I know it's because I'm a millennial, and we just look at things so much differently. But it's like, I love what women are becoming these days. Like, don't stay at home and let that man treat you like crap. Don't be out here popping out all his babies and he ain't got no respect for you. Don't stay in that marriage and he don't respect you and he's stepping out on you, and every chance he gets, like, no, we're not doing that anymore. Like, at this point in our lives, our man has to come correct. Now, what I do respect about Will and Jada is, although they've been married this long or whatever. Now, I can only speak on what's the information that they've put out there, and usually they're pretty much a very private couple in a, like, somewhat or whatever. But I can only speak about what they've put out there, and one affair in 25 years, some of y'all deal with a lot more of that in a year, in all honesty, from your man. So I don't want to hear y'all talking about, all this and that and this and that. But like, I feel like that's forgivable. Like, y'all don't feel that way? One affair in 25 years. Now, I'm not giving her right for stepping out on the marriage, because this is a union in God's eye, and you do want to do right by your partner. But at the same time, like, nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect. And I feel like once we get to the root of, once we accept that, everybody would kind of, have a smoother marriage. No one's perfect. People may mess up, people make mistakes, but like I said, like, some of y'all been in a relationship with the guy for a year and y'all have been cheated on with 16 different women. Some of y'all been in a relationship with a woman and y'all have been cheated on every year. I seen somebody post that they've been pregnant 4 times and none of the 4 times was for their boyfriend. Y'all getting cheated on too. But at the same time, it's like, Jada, I can understand. It's hard to be in a relationship, like, ongoing. Like I said, like, me and my boyfriend, we've been together for 11 years, but on and off. Like, it has not been consistent. And he stepped out, I've stepped out. Like, we've split just because, like, it's been rough. It's been rough. But at the same time, like, knowing what I've been through and what we've been through, and like, the efforts that we've put to like stay together, it's almost as if I can relate to Jada. Like, you want to feel good. You want to feel good. So now, Jada, did you have to call it an entanglement? Like, I feel like you're trying to downplay it at this point, and Will looked like he was about to snap. Will was like, let's just call it what it is, Jada. You done brought me to the table. Let's just call it what it is. It wasn't an entanglement. It was an affair. And you know what, Jada? Things happen. Things happen. And I could respect somebody who could kind of like address that ish happens. Like, I could respect that. Because so often I'm talking to somebody now. So often, like, we as humans and we as women, we like to paint it as like it's all perfect. Like, I've done all that I can, and it was him, and it was this and it was that. Like, I mean, I know August kind of like put the fire under her behind, but it's like, I still can respect the fact that you addressed it and you kind of, showed where you were coming from, and just kind of showed that, like, no one's perfect, but at the end of the day, you know, if you're willing to work on something and I'm willing to work on something, it like no one's opinions matter. Not even the entanglement who's still in love with me. Like that has nothing to do with me. Like, I'm trying to work on a relationship with my husband. Like, that's how I feel Jada was like. But for those of you who are like, I expect better from women, and blah 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 blah, and for the men who are like, oh, they would have iked, they was gonna hit her with the Ike and Tina, whatever. It's like, for those of you who are coming from that stance, it's like, you know what, it is what it is. They were able to pick up where they left off and move on and forgive themselves now. Like I said before, they are actors, so who knows? This whole thing could be staged. Like they probably could sit in a room with a straight face and hate each other. No one will never know. But it was entertaining. It was an entertaining week because of that. So it's been all good. But guys, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up. I'm gonna wrap it all up, as I hope a lot of you are out here doing as well, wrapping it up. But y'all stay safe, because if you're in Florida like me, these corona cases ain't getting any better. The cases are going up, so just continue to wash your hands and disinfect and stay home and cut out all the extra stuff that's not quite necessary, because it's only getting worse. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and follow me on social media. Instagram at Live Podcast. I'm on Twitter at Absolutely Live. I'm on Facebook at Lavincia Sawyer. I'm going to definitely be keeping in touch with everybody through my social media platforms as the Live It podcast goes on this seasonal break. I do appreciate everybody that has supported me thus far, that has listened, that has subscribed, that has shared and reposted and followed, and everything that I've asked, my audience to do, just to help me get my numbers up and reach more people. I do appreciate that. Like, this has been so fun. This has been something that's totally out of the box, totally something that I've never seen anyone in my immediate circle do. So I was kind of I was very excited and nervous about doing this podcast, but we're going on a break, y'all. We're going on a break, this seasonal break. We'll be back in a few weeks. Thank you all for listening, and remember, not only have we lived it, but we've survived it.